You might have noticed a strange little banana emoji appearing in your Gemini app. It's not just cute icon, it is a tiny clue to a funny naming story behind this model. Before this model was officially released, Google submitted it for anonymous testing on a platform called LM Arena, a public site where people compare two AI models side by side and vote on which result they prefer without knowing which model is which. It is how AI labs gather real-world feedback before a full launch. The model needed a placeholder name, something that would not hint it was a Google product, to submit it into the LM Arena site. At 2:30 in the morning, a Google product manager named Nina typed Nana Banana, thinking it was just a placeholder label that nobody outside the testing platform would ever see. But the model performed so well that people on X became obsessed with this mysterious, powerful Nana Banana, speculating about which lab had built it, whether it was a secret Google project, whether it was something entirely new. Instead of quietly correcting the record, Google leaned into it. They added the banana emoji to the Gemini app and even made a limited edition banana-themed merchandise. The reason Nana Banana went viral was not just the name, of course. It was one specific capability that AI image tools had been getting wrong before: character consistency. In the past, if you uploaded a photo of yourself and asked an AI to reimagine it, you would get something that looked vaguely like you, what people started calling your AI distant cousin. Nana Banana changed that. You upload one photo of yourself and it preserves your actual likeness across completely different scenarios. You can turn yourself into a graffiti mural, a custom tarot card, or a ceramic mug, and it's recognizably you in each one. You can transport yourself to different places, different outfits, different decades. The face stays yours. You can even add motion, turning a static portrait into a short video where the subject turns their head or shifts expression. We will look at that in more detail when we get to view Gemini's video model. But character consistency is just one piece of it. Let me walk you through the other things that make this model worth understanding. Scene blending lets you upload two separate photos and fuse them into a single coherent image. You can put yourself and historical figure at the same table or create a group photo of people who have never actually been in the same place. Gemini handles the lighting, angles, and context, so the result feels like one image rather than something that looks stitched together. Multi-turn editing turns your conversation into a living canvas. You don't have to get everything right in your first prompt. You can start with an empty room and talk it into existence. Paint the walls, add a leather sofa, place a steaming cup of coffee on the table. Each prompt builds on the last. One important thing to remember: the chat keeps context across your edits, so if you want to start a completely separate project open a fresh chat rather than continuing in the same thread. Design mixing is about taking the texture or visual language of one thing and mapping it into something else entirely. The pattern of a butterfly wing becoming a high fashion gown. The texture of marble tile wrapping around a pair of sneakers. It is less about editing a photo and more about merging two worlds that don't normally belong together. Now, one important thing to understand about how all of this fits together. Gemini itself is a reasoning and language model at its core. The image and video capabilities come from dedicated specialist models that Gemini calls behind the scene. For images, that's Nana Banana, officially named Gemini 2.5 Flash Image, though nobody calls it that. For video, it is a model called Veo. Think of them as Gemini's creative team, available on request. When you ask Gemini to generate or edit an image, it hands the task to Nana Banana. When you ask for a video, it calls Veo. The conversation stays in Gemini. The specialist work happens underneath. In the next lecture, we are going to open Gemini and try creating our first images. I'll meet you there.